Hello, friends of Poetry Against Arms. For the next minutes, you will spend time with words from my heart and mind in relation to the topic war. Since I was about 11 years old, and I'm now 57, the war has been a topic in my daily life. My first experience came from the news about the Vietnam War and the Civil War and genocide in Cambodia. In the primary school, teachers teach me about the Second World War and the Cold War. Later I got information about the cruelty and wars in South and Latin America. Growing up and getting older, I read about nuclear tests made by modern, Western cultivated countries like US and France. I also experienced about the genocide in Rwanda, where millions of people was killed in the same time as a Danish citizen can drink his modern medicine that had the name beer. In this century, the chain of worldwide physical violence continues. In Iraq, in Afghanistan, Egypt, Syria, Sudan, North Korea, Libya, France, US, Denmark, Germany, Thailand, Belgium, China, India, etc. The consequences of the wars have become a fight between people, friends, neighbors, gangs, armies, companies, banks, government, royal families, media, and dictatorships. The fight, which is so complex, kills everything that is beautiful about life, because it makes me and you two suffering individuals. Peace is the name of which you can feel happy. It is the name of which you can feel other people happy. It is the name where the future is open, where you can visit your friends and don't have to worry. It is the name in which people have a house, in which you can eat your daily food, in which you can be treated by doctors if you get sick. And it's the name which only can be used by people that not have a hidden agenda. Let me give a simple example why peace isn't a concerned matter for the politicians. In Denmark we have a military budget of 21 billion kroner. Almost 9,000 people is employed in the military sector. Mean our parliament spent more than 1 million kroner for one soldier. The same parliament spent at the same time 41 billion kroner for education. Mean they spend about 35,000 kroner per student in the primary school. Conclusion. The Danish democracy with elected politicians spend 15 times more in the physical violence than they spend in the hope and future for the young generation. This example you can find even more worth in the most leading military country in the world. Do we need a third world war before we wake up? From my feelings, I believe we already are in a global war. We can't use the definition of a world war considering the past, because the military tools that have been developed since Second World War, it's much more complex. And the decision makers aren't the elected. The modern war is only about business. And international business has no borders. They follow their own rules of profit and power. You hit your kid. You punish your girlfriend or your boyfriend. You kill someone because you were drunk. All example of physical violence, which from the regulation in the Danish law will send you to prison for a certain time. a parliament decide to make war or take part in a war. But even the consequences is so horrible and terrifying, it will not have any consequences for the politician and their allies. Because the excuses in the present moment is that we must fight the terrorism, and war is for them a tool for make peace and democracy. But don't believe what you read and hear, because war is the biggest lie about making peace and democracy.
In Denmark we have an author, his name is Christian Andersen, and he's also worldwide recognized. He's a poetic person because of his many fairy tales. He died about 150 years ago, but I speak of him as a present person because his thoughts and feelings have survived all the cruelties. He's maybe not a social model for make worldwide peace, but he's an example of which we should know deep in our heart that our intention for life is much more valued for each other, no matter when and where we are born. I hope and I wish that we can start creating our life in a peaceful and non-violent way. Let's fight against the war with the softest and most sensitive and most human poetry against arms. Thank you.